What's up, everyone? Welcome back to TFC On The Road, the channel for Toronto FC news, tactical analysis, roster moves, and the stories shaping the Reds on and off the field. Toronto FC has made major changes to this roster. But after 3 matches since the World Cup break, Robin Fraser may already have a strongest starting 11. And the surprise is that some of the biggest names are not in it. Toronto returned to MLS play with 2 consecutive clean sheets, then lost 2-1 to DC United on a penalty deep into stoppage time. The defensive structure looked more stable. The attack, however, produced only 1 goal. That changes the question. This is not a lineup built only from reputation or transfer value. It is the strongest current 11 based on form, role, and availability as of July 30th, 2026. So who has actually earned a place? And which established names are still on the outside looking in? Let's build the team. 1. Goalkeeper, Luka Gavran. The clearest decision in the team is in goal. Luka Gavran starts. He has been selected in all 3 matches since the World Cup break and kept clean sheets against CF Montreal and New England. That matters because Toronto's defensive line changed from match to match. Younger defenders were introduced, and the team often had to protect narrow score lines without controlling long stretches of possession. Gavran has provided continuity inside that instability. His value is not only the save itself, it is the calm after the save, the clean catch, the slower restart, and the extra second that allows the back 4 to recover its shape. William Yarbrough remains experienced depth, and Osorio remains part of the goalkeeper group. But right now, the number 1 shirt belongs to Gavran. Until his performances change the argument, this is the easiest selection on the team sheet. 2. The best current back 4. The strongest current back 4 begins with Richie Laryea at right back. Robin Fraser has also used Laryea in midfield since the restart. That reflects Toronto's shortage of established central options, and Lariea's ability to carry the ball through pressure. But in the most balanced 11, his value is still greatest from right back. From there, he can defend the flank, progress possession, and arrive higher, without removing another natural midfielder from the center. Walker Zimmerman is the first center back. He organizes the line, attacks aerial service, and gives the younger defenders a reference point. Beside him, the current choice should be Zane Monlouis. Monlouis started against Montreal and DC United and came off the bench in New England. That recent trust matters. Benjamin Kušević remains one of the roster's most accomplished defenders, but he was an unused substitute in Montreal and was not listed in the next 2 matchday squads. Without inventing an injury explanation, Monlouis is the safer current choice. At left back, Jackson Gilman has earned the place through repetition. He started all 3 post-break matches and has handled a difficult assignment, defending wide space while Toronto's left winger moves inside and the midfield shifts toward the ball. So the back 4 is Laryea, Zimmerman, Monlouis, and Gilman. It may not be the group most people predicted in preseason, but it is the group most strongly supported by Toronto's current selection pattern. 3. The midfield combination. The midfield should use Alonso Coello and Jonathan Osorio behind Djordje Mihailovic. Coello is the holding player. His job is to stay connected to the center backs, offer the first forward pass, and protect the central lane when Laryea advances. He does not need to chase every duel. The position is about controlling distance, close enough to stop the counterattack, but not so deep that Toronto loses access to midfield. Osorio plays as the number 8. He can drop beside Coello during build-up, then move beyond him when Toronto enters the attacking half. His experience becomes even more important in a lineup containing younger defenders because he understands when the game needs acceleration and when it needs one more secure pass. Mihailovic belongs higher as the number 10. He has recently been used from the bench, but Toronto's strongest attacking structure needs its most creative midfielder, close to Josh Sargent. From there, he can receive between the lines, combine with the wingers, and attack second balls around the penalty area. Nelson Palacio may eventually change this midfield. Toronto paid a significant fee to acquire him, and his profile suggests a more athletic defensive presence. But he did not appear in the 3 post-World Cup matchday squads reviewed for this update. Until he is registered, integrated, and selected, Palacio is the next potential solution, not the current automatic starter. 4. The wingers. Theo Corbeanu starts on the right, and Dániel Sallói starts on the left. Corbeanu gives Toronto something this attack badly needs: direct running. His equalizer against DC United was Toronto's first goal after the World Cup break. More importantly, when he receives wide, the fullback has to respect the run in behind. That threat creates space inside for Mihailovic and Sargent. Sallói provides a different function on the opposite wing. He can begin outside, combine through the half space, and arrive in the box as a secondary scorer. The contrast is useful. Corbeanu threatens with acceleration. Sallói connects the attack through timing and positioning. Djordje Etienne Jr. remains an important alternative. He can play either wing, carry the ball in transition, and give the team more defensive work without the ball. But Corbeanu and Sallói provide the better starting balance. One clear vertical threat and one controlled attacking connector. 5. Josh Sargent's role. Josh Sargent remains center forward, but Toronto has to give him more support. Without the ball, his first responsibility is to direct the press. When he closes one center back and blocks the return pass, the wingers can step forward and the midfield can compress the next lane. Pressing is not simply effort, it is a chain reaction, and the striker begins it. With the ball, Sargent has to alternate between pinning the defensive line and dropping toward midfield. If he stays high, he creates space for Mihailovic. If he drops, he can pull a center back away and release Corbeanu into the space behind. But those movements only work when the players around him react quickly. Toronto's recent problem has not been the absence of a recognized striker. It has been the distance between the striker and the next pass. That is frustrating because Sargent was not brought to Toronto to spend every attack wrestling with two center backs and chasing hopeful service. He was brought here to become a reliable scoring reference. The strongest current 11 therefore places Mihailovic behind him, Corbeanu outside him, and Sallói moving inside from the opposite wing. That front four gives Sargent relationships instead of leaving him with individual battles. 6. The 3 best current substitutes. The first substitute is Kobe Franklin. He has started 2 of the 3 matches after the break and gives Fraser flexibility at fullback. If Toronto is protecting a lead, Franklin can enter on the right and allow Laryea to move higher. If Laryea is tired, Franklin can replace him directly without changing the formation. The second substitute is Djordje Etienne Jr. He can replace either winger, play underneath the striker, or enter when Toronto needs more transition running. His value is versatility, rather than one fixed position. The third substitute is DeAndre Kerr. Kerr offers a different attacking reference. He can replace Sargent, play beside him late in a match, or attack crosses when Toronto needs a more direct final phase. Kušević, Palacio, Raheem Edwards, Emilio Aristizabal, and Matheus Pereira may all become important depending on availability and form. But Franklin, Etienne, and Kerr have the clearest immediate roles in the current matchday structure. 7. Final formation. The final formation is a 4-2-3-1. In goal, Luka Gavran. The back 4, Richie Laryea, Walker Zimmerman, Zane Monlouis, and Jackson Gilman. The double pivot, Alonso Coello and Jonathan Osorio. Djordje Mihailovic as the number 10. Theo Corbeanu on the right, Dániel Sallói on the left, and Josh Sargent as the center forward. This lineup is deliberately different from a roster ranking exercise. It rewards the players currently being selected while leaving room for Palacio, Kušević, and Pereira to change the hierarchy when their status becomes clearer. Toronto's first 3 matches after the World Cup revealed a team that can defend more consistently than before, but still struggles to turn possession into chances. The next step is not simply adding more attacking players, it is reducing the distance between them. Football is rarely about placing the biggest names on a formation graphic. It is about creating a chain of responsibilities. Gavran protects the goal, Zimmerman organizes the line, Coello holds the center, Mihailovic connects midfield to attack, Sargent gives the final third a reference point. At this moment, that is Toronto FC's most balanced starting 11. Robin Fraser finally appears to have a defensive foundation. The bigger question is whether this group can score enough goals to climb the Eastern Conference. If it cannot, this lineup will not stay together for long. The hierarchy may also change, quickly. If Nelson Palacio enters the squad, Benjamin Kušević returns to regular selection, or Matheus Pereira completes his recovery. So here is the question. If you could make only one change to this 11, what would it be? Leave your lineup and your reasoning in the comments. Thanks for following along with TFC On The Road. Until next time, keep cheering on the Reds.